Surface. Joining me right now is the former New York City mayor and a senior advisor, Rudy Giuliani. Great to see you.
Hi, Rick.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Mayor. Good poll numbers this morning. What do you think is behind this situation?
Well, I think
the
fact is the American people have a lot of common sense, and they realize allegations like this don't emerge 27 days before an election from here and here and here and here and here and here, and it's all like just coincidental with all of the WikiLeaks revelations about her, which allows the liberal press to bury the WikiLeaks revelations, which are far more relevant, really. Donald Trump's personal life. Look, next year, somebody's going to be in the White House. Either taxes are going to go up or go down. Doesn't matter what his personal life or her personal life is. The money's either going to come out of my pocket or money's going to be in my pocket.
That's good. Yeah,
next year, somebody is going to have to really stand up to ISIS because Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama created ISIS. It can't be Hillary. It has to be somebody new. His personal life, and by the way, I think these allegations are not true, and I'm going to tell you why I think they're not true. And I'm not going to put my lawyer's hat on because I haven't had a chance to examine them as a lawyer. I'm doing it as a friend of Donald Trump's.
Okay.
I've known him for 28 years. I've been in every circumstance imaginable with him, I think. I've seen him with women all the time. I know men who are inappropriate and don't like it. I've never seen him one time, act inappropriate to a woman.
You know,
and there are some other men in public figures, that I can say something far different about, who go around putting their hands on every woman imaginable. And one of them is very close to the Democratic candidate for president.
You're talking about Bill
Clinton.
I have
observed that. And my wife has observed that.
But, you know, it's interesting because for the last several weeks, WikiLeaks has been promising us more. That Julian Assange has been saying there will be more closer to the election. So that gave the Clinton campaign a whole lot of time to say, okay, whatever this stuff is that they have that they're going to leak, let's make sure to contact some women who know Donald Trump. Let's go back and try to figure out what we can just to offset this.
30 years ago on an airplane for 15 minutes of groping in first class? First class 30 years ago was considerably more luxurious than it is today. Flight attendants were all over you every 5 minutes. It's only 6 to 8 to 10 people in the cabin. Couldn't possibly have happened. It's on its face not true. And then a man has come forward that says it's not true. I don't know.
Right, he said he was on the flight.
Well, that's, I mean, that was just lucky. I mean,
yeah.
But look, people can come forward and say anything. Why do they do it? They do it for fame. They do it for money. The one represented by Gloria Allred, you're not going to tell me that's not for money. I know Gloria Allred. She's in it for this.
Oh, wow. You know what? Just looking at these polls this morning tells you that the American people are actually putting that aside, putting certainly the comments that we know he said on tape aside. Let's talk about the debate. Wednesday night is critical.
Yes.
You know this.
I like the way Chris Wallace has organized the topics. And if he stays in the order of the topics, it'll be fabulous because he puts fitness for president last, which means it'll be consigned to about 10 minutes. So that's all it deserves. Look, there are lots of reasons that she's going to argue he shouldn't be president. There are lots of reasons, and much better ones, I think, he'll argue why she shouldn't. But first, things like the economy is going to come. Immigration, foreign policy. These are things that really, really concern us. Who is going to stop the mass group of people coming into this country? Now we have her WikiLeaks to support the fact that she wants open borders, sanctuary city, amnesty. She wants a global economy.
Yeah.
In one of her speeches, I don't know if it was Goldman Sachs or one of the other institutions where she got $250,000, she said her real goal is kind of a hemispheric global economy. That means we give up our sovereignty. She wants to do exactly what England just pulled out of. Right? And
that's what people are afraid of because they see what just happened with all of the refugees coming into Europe and how it flooded.
She wants that for us. She wants to increase the number of Syrian refugees by 550% more than Obama. She is, on this issue, to the left of Obama. We always had our view of Hillary, meaning us Republicans. We always thought of her as being phony, says something in public, different in private. We've always thought of her being a liar. Now we see on WikiLeaks that she is. We always thought of her as being really much more of a socialist than her husband was. She basically said in another speech in Canada that she prefers the Canadian socialist medicine system.
Right.
Well, we always knew that, going back to 94, 93.
So these are just confirming. These emails,
to me, when I read this, I said,
are just confirming.
You know something? I wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
All my liberal friends told me I was wrong. She's really not for socialized medicine. Take you. She said it. She's the socialized
But
medicine.
look, she was Secretary of State. She's going to have all the details and specifics in terms of foreign policy, where we were, where she believes we need to go. How is Donald Trump preparing?
Very, very simple answer. Very simple answer is, Hillary, you got all the facts, all the figures, and you don't have a single success. You just failed and failed and failed. You helped to create ISIS by pulling out of Iraq with no troops. What do you mean you couldn't get a status of forces agreement? I'd have got, if Donald Trump or if Obama sent me to Iraq, I would have got a status of force agreement. I'd have put it in front of him and said, you're going to sign it.
Right.
You see all those troops out there?
And that status of forces agreement protected our troops.
We prop up your government. You're going to sign that darn thing, or we're going to have a new head of your government.
Right.
Somebody's got to get tough. Somebody has got to...
But aside from criticizing
she's announced no troops on the ground. He said, that's an option I will consider. He hasn't said he's going to do it, but he says that's an option I will consider.
Will he have a specific plan to take down ISIS? Will he have a specific plan to deal with Russia?
We have a lot of things we have to deal with. We can't just focus on ISIS. We have to focus on Russia. We can't just focus on China or Al-Qaeda. Here's what we have to do. We have to build up our military. We have to, what Obama and Clinton want to do is take our military down to World War I levels. So he very specifically has said he wants 450,000 troops. They want to go down to 420. I'm sorry, he wants 550,000 troops. They want to go down to 420. That's a much bigger army. He wants a Marine Corps that has 8 more to 10 more battalions. He wants a Navy that has 350 ships. We're going to go down to 220, 230. Incapable at 220 and 230 to fight a two-ocean war, and we'll let China take over the South China Sea. And he wants to increase our aircraft, our fighter aircraft, by about 400 or 500. And he wants to modernize our nuclear capacity and our military capacity. So what he's doing is, he wants to build up a situation like Reagan did. He wants to be able to negotiate from strength with the largest military in the world, incapable of being matched by anybody, incapable of being challenged by anybody, and able to fight conventional wars or asymmetrical wars, with, of course, the best special forces that ever existed, which we already have, and we'll just make them better.
What is going to be success for you walking out of that debate Wednesday night? What will it take for you to feel like
Now, we got into the issues, and I think this is why Chris Wallace is such an excellent moderator, because Chris is going to be tough on Donald. He knows that, and he's going to be tough on Hillary. He's going to be fair and square right down the middle. That's all we want. I think when we come out of this, I want people to know he's going to lower your taxes. He can put more money back in your pocket. She's going to take taxes away. He is going to get rid of Obamacare. She's going to go to socialized medicine. He's going to stand up to ISIS, which is a much bigger army, a much bigger Navy, a much bigger Air Force than we have right now. And he's not going to be saying no boots on the ground, no boots on the ground, no boots on the ground, which sends a sign of such terrible weakness. He's going to say instead, I don't want war. I'd rather not have war. But if you push me, I am capable of making the decision.
Is he going to release any names of the people he's considering for his cabinet? When we've spoken in the past, you said, as we get closer to the election, he even told me when he came on the show on the Fox Business
I think he might. I think he might. I think that's something he's thinking about. He was focused so much on the Supreme Court, he's listed 18 for the Supreme Court. She's listed none, by the way, because she doesn't want to tell us what kind of wackos she wants to put on the Supreme Court.
This is going to be incredible.
I'd love to hear her 5 or 6. They want to redo the Constitution and make us an international government, and we should be using international law instead of American law.
You think that'll help Trump?
Oh, yeah, I want to see a couple of those names. I want a couple of those names, because I bet I can get some law review articles about them, how we should really just become part of the whole international scene, and we're no better a country than anybody else.
Incredible. Rudy Giuliani, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.